Hello, my name is Azaro Kayaks, and welcome to my channel, Stories from Azaro Kayaks. Today we're going to be reading Dragoons The Awakening, Chapter 11. With that said, let us get started. Chapter 11, The Cilantro! Start. Some more time passes. After swinging for a while, Drako decides to do some hunting. Drako spends his day in the forest looking for game and things to hunt and eat. Drako finds nothing but a couple of white feathers, and himself bored. Almost as if the forest was empty due to him killing the wyvern hawk, or maybe by some other unseen force. As Drako gets back, he goes for a swim in the river near his home. I wonder why animals never come over to my home. Can they smell me? Do I stink? Wait, can animals smell if you're a dragoon? Drako thinks to himself. The sun starts to set, and Drako gets out of the river. Am I really a dragoon? I know what I saw and felt. There has to be a way to make that scale thing happen on command. Drako thinks to himself. Drako punches his chest really hard. Ow! Drako says, It happened when I was in danger. Maybe I have to be in danger? Drako thinks to himself. Drako gets dressed and heads up to his tree home. Tomorrow I'll try some things. Maybe I'll find out, maybe I won't. Drako thinks to himself. Drako goes to bed. A nice dream of food and great smells envelop Drako's mind. Day 1, complete. Drako wakes up to the sun beating down in his face. Drako takes a look around his home. It feels like it's been a while since I've woken up here. Drako thinks to himself. Drako gets up and makes himself breakfast. Just normal fruits and veggies he has sitting in a basket. Drako takes a bite of an apple and walks out on his balcony, looking at the forest and smiles. It's a great view, Drako thinks to himself as he eats the apple. Drako finishes the apple and a couple more fruits and vegetables and heads down the forest tree. Okay, I need to find out how to read or activate the scale thing. What should I call it? It has to have a name, right? Scale mode. Dragon skin. Rough hide? Ew, the last one sounds weird. Drako thinks to himself as he walks over to a tree. Last time it happened, it was when I was being attacked. I can't just find something to attack me. So what if I attack something? This tree. I know I can't break this tree down with a punch, so it's going to hurt me, Drako thinks to himself. Here goes nothing? Ah! Fuck! Nothing happens, and Drako yells out with his hand in pain. After a couple of seconds of staring at his hand for any changes or skin or scales, just pain, Drako relaxes. Maybe if I try with my other hand? Drako thinks to himself. Drako punches the tree again. Nothing happens. Damn it! Drako yells out holding his other hand. Drako again looks at his hand. I feel like maybe I felt something that time, maybe? Drako thinks to himself. Drako stances up in front of the tree. Maybe I just have to keep punching. Drako thinks to himself. Drako punches the tree over and over and over again, trying to ignore the pain and keep punching. Drako's skin starts to break on his hands. Small cuts and bruises start to form. Drako keeps punching and punching and punching. The tree, ever so slightly, starts to have its bark crack and splintered from Drako's punches. As time passes, Drako's hands start to bleed and he becomes exhausted. Falling to his knees, Drako lets out an angry roar. Ah! I don't understand. I know what I saw. Why won't it happen again? Drako yells out and starts punching the dirt in front of him. In that moment, Draco has a thought. It happened when I was truly in danger. I was genuinely going to die. I've been punching this tree as if I can't destroy it. I've been holding back. Draco thinks to himself as he punches the dirt a couple more times. Draco gets up. Draco looks at his hand, covered in blood, dirt, cuts, tree bark, and bruises. No more holding back, Draco thinks to himself. Draco's hands are shaking from the pain and the constant force of punching the tree. Draco takes a deep breath. I'm going to punch Stu with full force, Draco says, looking at the tree. Either the scale thing is going to activate, or I'm going to break my hand, Draco says, looking at his usable hand one last time. Draco stances up. Activate, Draco screams out as he throws a full force punch at the tree. A loud crack, as if thunder itself comes down. Then silence falls. Draco stares. The tree now had a fist-sized indent into it. Draco had activated the scales, and it had saved his hand. Draco pulled back his hand, staring, watching, feeling, learning. Draco's hand slowly started to turn back to normal. In one quick motion, Draco punched the tree again with his other hand, again, full force, and the scales activated. Draco watched his hand, felt it, and how it felt to change. Draco let out a sigh of relief, as he could have seriously broken his hands. Draco yells out as he starts pummeling the tree with every hit, every strike cracking and splitting the tree bark. Draco's hands now scaled up and doing serious damage to the bark. A fury of blows chipping away at the tree itself, bit by bit, piece by piece, until only a fragmented remained of the tree. In one final attack, Draco does a roundhouse kick and breaks the tree in half, sending the tree falling over and onto the ground. Draco's heart is pounding. His body is in a state of adrenaline. Draco walks over and sits on the fallen tree. Draco catches his breath and relaxes, his scales slowly dissipating on his hands and foot. Draco stares at the sky and smiles. I did it. I kinda know how to do it now, Draco says to himself. Once the adrenaline wears off and the scales leave, Draco feels the pain. Ow, Draco thinks to himself while looking at his hands. Draco gets up and walks over to the river to wash his hands. As Draco's washing his hands from the blood and dirt, he starts to see his reflection, with the adamant circlet on his forehead. I wonder who my parents are. I never really cared before. That old hag took care of me, and I guess she was good enough, but now I'm a dragoon, which means one of my parents is a dragon and the other one is a human. Why did they leave me behind? What happened? It doesn't matter. I've made my own path, Draco thinks to himself. Draco finishes washing his hands and notices that the cuts and bruises are slightly less big. That was quick. I guess I'm a dragoon. I think dragons have fast healing? Do dragons heal faster than people? Is that a thing? I think that. I've never actually gotten sick like that growing up. Or injured. I usually just kind of walk things off. Draco thinks to himself, staring at his hands. Draco walks over to another tree. Draco takes a deep breath and tries to activate the scales without hitting the tree. It does not work. Draco punches the tree with full force. It works. Damn it! I thought I had it, Draco says. I guess I just need to keep punching trees until I can do it on command, Draco thinks to himself. Draco starts beating the ever-loving fuck out of the trees. The scales protect him, and he goes on. Punch after punch, kick after kick, tree after tree. Draco trained, trying to master his new power. Draco breaks down around 15 trees before it starts to get late. Damn, the sun's going down already? Draco says looking up. I should move these fallen trees and clean off the excess branches. I could probably make some firewood or... Draco thinks to himself, then looks at his home. You know, I could increase the size of my home. Maybe add a couple more rooms, shed. Ooh, possibilities are endless. Ooh, how about a ramp? Draco thinks to himself. Draco sits down on a tree stump he made and thinks about all the possible things he could do to his house and the wood and the space, everything around. After a long time of thinking, it gets dark and late. I should probably go to sleep. I've got a lot of things to do tomorrow, Draco thinks to himself. Draco gets up and goes home, climbing the ladder and into his house. Draco collapses and just lands on his bed. Draco goes to sleep. Day 2, complete. Draco wakes up, full of energy and ready to get back to training. A quick devour of whatever vegetables Draco had left and he goes outside. After Draco gets off the ladder, he looks around at the trees on the ground. I should probably clean all this up now, but first, let's do some training, Draco thinks to himself. Draco again trains his new power, punching and kicking trees for many, many hours. At this point, Draco had cleared a reasonable space around his home. Many more trees laid down all over the place. Draco sighed, feeling good, feeling like he had got better at activating his power. Okay, time to trim down all of these trees, excess branches, and then move the logs, Draco thinks to himself. Many more hours of Draco cutting off excess branches and moving logs to a pile. After Draco had finished cleaning and moving the branches and logs, he overlooked his work. That's a huge pile of branches and leaves. If I let that sit for a while, I could probably have some good tinder, Draco thinks to himself. Draco moves 4 logs around the pile of branches to make a square. I don't want the wind or anything to mess with this, Draco thinks to himself. Draco looks at the logs. I did all this with my bare hands, Draco thinks to himself. Draco smiles. That's like 30 or 40 logs. I'm really getting the hang of this scale power thing. Damn it, I need to give it a cool name, Draco thinks to himself. While Draco is finishing up and moving little tidbits around, the sun starts to set. Another day well spent, Draco says to himself. Draco goes and swings on the swing he made and watches the sunset. Tomorrow, what should I do? Maybe some woodcutting? Where did I put my axe? Draco thinks to himself as he swings. Draco swings for a while, thinking and thinking. The sun finally sets. Well, that's it. Time for sleep, I guess. Tomorrow is another day, and there's more work to be done, Draco thinks to himself as he jumps off the swing. Draco climbs up his rope ladder and heads to bed. Draco lays down on his bed, not realizing how tired he really was, instantly falling asleep. Day 3, complete. Draco wakes up, starving, his stomach rumbling uncontrollably. Draco gets up and checks his basket, empty. Draco checks his food storage box, empty. Draco even checks his pockets. Of course they're empty. Why don't I have any food? Oh yeah, I was stocking up when Wenry found me in the woods. Wenry! Draco thinks to himself. Draco was so focused on himself. As he relaxed his mind when he got home, he totally forgot about Wenry. She has to be up by now, right? Draco says to himself. I have to go check on her, Draco thinks to himself. Draco changes his clothes to cleaner, non-sweaty clothes. I should surprise Wenry with something, Draco thinks to himself. The cilantro! Great idea, Draco says to himself. Draco grabs the basket that was empty, then heads down the ladder. Draco heads off to the forest to where he normally gets his forest festivals. Chapter 11. The Cilantro. End. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you, my fellow Vokaijin. Remember, if you guys like my videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends. Here it is, guys. Draco's learning how to use his power by punching trees. Stupid. But yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. This is Ezra Kayaks signing off. See you, fellow Vokaijin, in the next one.